The physical and emotional health of an entire generation and the economic health and security of our nation is at stake. This isn't the kind of problem that can be solved overnight. But with everyone working together, it can be solved. So let's move. Michelle Obama made this comment in February of 2010 when she launched her Let's Move initiative to help fight childhood obesity. Today, I am going to speak about that. To me, that is a very, very important topic that is affecting a wide range of people in the world today. In fact, it affects more than 3 million people a year. That's how many cases are seen that have issues with childhood obesity. So it's an ever-growing problem within the world. While many of you may not be aware of the ever-growing problem and danger with childhood obesity and what it causes, my hopes is that after this speech, you'll have a better idea of not only understanding the underlying causes that contribute to this health issue, but be able to use the information ascertained from this speech to incorporate healthier changes so that, who knows, you could possibly be solving a major health issue for someone very close to you in your own life that you're not even aware of. Knowing what causes it and how to stop the problem before it starts is half of the battle. Childhood obesity is a condition in which a child is significantly overweight for his or her height and age. One person who took the initiative to eliminate childhood obesity within one generation was Michelle Obama. She started the Let's Move initiative in an effort to educate more people about kids' health, proper nutrition, and fitness in ways that we can incorporate it into their lives in order to ensure that they have healthier lives going forward and become healthier adults in the future, which serves to not only help our economy, but protect them from having to undergo duress for no real reason, or for reasons that can be completely avoided. She believed that if we offered healthier food options to our young youth, to the younger generation, and pushed them to get involved in extracurricular activities such as sports, kind of physical fitness of any kind, rather than living sedentary lives, that it would put them at a far lower risk for developing future health issues down the road that could be harmful and even fatal within their life. By protecting our children and their health, we're protecting future generations from health detriment, and by doing so, we're setting up our economy to thrive in future years. You may ask, why is this such a huge issue? Well, the fact is, childhood obesity is linked to many other serious medical conditions that can be completely avoided if we find a way to decrease the rising rates of obesity within young children today. Many of these conditions can be fatal in later life if we do not take action to lose the excess weight, such as heart disease, diabetes, breathing problems, and liver disease, just to name a few. Why is childhood obesity so prevalent, you might want to know, in the world today? Well, the truth is, many parents are far busier today than they have ever been before. I mean, just think about your life for a minute. I'm sure if you have children, both you and your husband are working, right? So it's harder today to mitigate family life. If you have children, whatever extracurricular activities they have, I mean, maybe they play soccer or football or cheerleading. And the convenience of being able to pick up food very quickly to make sure that they have something to eat before they go to bed, knowing that you're not capable of getting home early enough to make a full meal, cook it, and make sure they have something healthier. That convenience has led more Americans now than ever to just grab something quick on the go, get home, and get on with their night. Due to the higher level of activity outside of homes, between children and parents both, the convenience of grabbing these quick items rather than cooking at home is becoming far more common. Another person who brought to light many of the issues we face today was Dr. Larry McCreary, when he said about 80% of the food on supermarket shelves today didn't exist 100 years ago. Think about that. 100 years ago, the food that we have in our stores wasn't even an option. To me, this statement alone reemphasizes how serious this has become. We're now feeding our children quick items from stores, things that are quick to heat up, things that are quick to grab, and most of these things are filled with so many fillers, preservatives, chemicals, things that are just so terribly bad for us. And so we're so caught up with the convenience of these, being able to buy these things so quickly and warm them up quickly and have something to eat, rather than feeding our kids a wholesome, healthy diet that's literally destroying our younger youth's health and setting them up for future bad eating habits that they'll carry into adulthood and will continue to cause them major health declines as they age. You might wonder, how do we prevent childhood obesity growing rates in the modern world today? Well, the answer is pretty simple, although putting it into motion can be a little bit of an adjustment. We as individuals and as parents have to find alternative food options outside of the home that are healthier for our children if we are not able to eat at home. With sports and other outside events, it helps to keep our kids more active and burn more fuel, keeping them at a healthier weight as well. Too often, we as individuals, along with our children, get into a slump. We're playing video games or watching movies, doing things indoors rather than participating in outdoor activities. And that, living that kind of sedentary lifestyle, is what leads to obesity being such an issue in the world today. When we get into the habit of living a more healthier lifestyle and eating low nutrient foods and beverages instead of eating the high calorie intakes with low nutrient foods, then we'll find that by eating more high nutrient foods, we're going to see the weight on our children or even ourselves drop off so quickly. We just have to make those lifestyle changes. These actions lead us to gain much more weight, and they cause health issues for our kids that can cause even bigger problems for their health as they age. Battling issues with obesity for children leads to many other issues for their health, such as mental health, major issues such as mental health as well. The more weight they gain, the lower their self-esteem gets, the more they get depressed and they have anxiety, and they have social issues such as bullying that they battle with in schools. You might ask, what kind of health problems can stem from childhood obesity? Well, that's a good question. Due to excessive weight gain that occurs as a result of eating unhealthy, childhood obesity has been linked to many illnesses such as these: high blood pressure and high cholesterol, which are factors for cardiovascular disease. They've been linked to an increased risk of impaired glucose tolerance, insulin resistance, and type 2 diabetes. They've been linked to breathing problems, such as asthma and sleep apnea. They're linked to joint problems and musculoskeletal discomfort. They have even been linked to fatty liver disease, gallstones, and gastroesophageal reflux, or heartburn. Let's make it a little simpler. It's also related, childhood obesity is also linked to psychological problems such as anxiety and depression, which I mentioned prior, low self-esteem, which I also mentioned, and a low self-reported quality of life, social problems, and the stigma surrounding that. In closing, I feel that childhood obesity is becoming such a prevalent issue within the world today due to the convenience of fast food for busy parents and children, along with living sedentary lifestyles that do not require any kind of physical activity. If we find healthier food options and on the go for our children, and encourage healthier, more active lifestyles such as sports, we will see childhood obesity levels drop significantly. And we will also see an increase in healthier adults in the future years to come. With a good support system, proper nutrition that is low in calories and nutrient rich, the kids of today will be far healthier. By improving their weight and overall health, the amount of health risks that they will face in the future as adults will almost completely be non-existent. Thank you for listening to my speech, and you have a wonderful night. Take care.